Okay, class, for your activity today, um, so we have this. Ito. So you still have here your plan. You will focus on this one, itong part na to, wherein actually you have there your, ano ba to? You have there your yellow lines. Yung yellow lines will represent your wall for the second floor. And then your yellow line here represent your ground floor, penthouse floor framing plan. Okay? Now, we have actually discussed about the footings. Ayan yung footings. So, your footings have the corresponding details here. You can see that in your plan. Okay? And then, for your columns, you have this. You understand? So, meaning, for every level, so for example, we have this penthouse to roof beam level, so that will be 3 meters. Second floor to penthouse level will be 3.2 meters. And then ground floor to second floor level will be 3.3 meters. Then you are also given that from the foundation to ground floor, you will have these details. Now, what will be considered as your floor plan for your foundation, for your floor plan? So, your floor plan will consist of this one. Okay, so we have this. I mean foundation plan, you have this. For your foundation plan, you are given the following. WF, you have the footing, so may WF2. Okay? So, yung WF represent, it is not indicated here. So, WF is not indicated here. So, I will require you lang to estimate your footings. Okay? So, for your WF, since walang WF rito, i-miss out na lang natin. It is actually similar to determining beams. Okay? So, yung column nyo, if you are given here your second floor, okay, you will be required na lang to estimate the total concrete works for your second floor framing here. Okay? And then, for your penthouse. Okay? Now, as you can see, di ba, na-discuss na natin is about the table. So, I will be sharing to you, kokopyahin nyo na lang yung table ng Excel para sa table na to. Okay? Para kahawig ng table na to. Tapos, naka-itemize yung mga gagawin ninyo. So, I have discussed actually this part, yung footings natin. I have also discussed about the column. So, then I will explain further kung paano yung sa table na gagamitin ninyo. Now, ito yung nasaan na ba yun? So, we have already considered yung column natin. If you remember, we have here your column, and your beams. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng konting additional computation. Now, pag kinonsider mo yung column mo, say for example this one, we have a column here, tapos let's say kung i-consider ko yung dimension nito, this column is actually 500 by teka lang, drawing na rin natin, measure na rin natin. So this is 500 by 150. So mangyayari dun sa computation nyo will be this one. Actually, I discussed already to you kung paano gawin yung column, di ba? Yung reinforcement niya, kaya kagaya niyan, you have to measure your lateral ties. So, ang gagawin nyo is always consider a spacing or a covering which is 40. So, if you have a column, I'll just repeat, say you have a column which is, say we have 500 by 200. Okay? So, next thing you have to do is to offset your footing, your column with a distance of 40. Ito na ngayon ang magiging measurement ng ties nyo. Okay? Yung lateral ties nyo. Ganun rin sa beam. So, pag kinonsider mo to, originally, we have 500 by 200. Tapos, ang dimension nyo ngayon, because of the offset, is 420 by ano yan, 120, sige, i-ano na lang natin. Okay. So, from a measurement equal to 500 by 200 na column, you now have a stirrup with distance, with measurements 120 by 420. So, pag kukunin mo yung perimeter niya, you have 420 plus 120 plus 420 again on this side plus 120. And then don't forget yung sinasabi ko na meron tayong additional na 100 to take care, 50. It's only 50. We have an additional 50 and another 50 to take care of the ending part. Okay? So, 50. So, you have now the perimeter. Now, as you can see, pag nag-consider ka ng ganito, paano naman i-connect yung vertical bars? So, yung red one are your vertical bars. This serves as your lateral ties. Okay? If you deal with your beams, this will be your horizontal bars, and then this will be your stirrup. So, paano mo ngayon i-consider yon? Yung pagbaband nila to each other. So, this is how it works. If you consider isang stirrup natin, tapos you are mentioned that there will be 12 16mm bars. Ibig sabihin, bawat isa dito, tatalian mo yan. Itatali mo yan. Okay, so lalabas, for this alone, ang kailangan mong pantali will be 12 pieces of your GI tie wires, or in Tagalog, that's your alambre. And next, after that, you can see for yourself na nung nag-consider tayo rito, how many pieces ng GI tie ay ng lateral ties ang na-involve. Okay? So, pag tinignan mo, kinumpute natin yan, we have this. You have the length of the lateral ties, and then you are given that the number of lateral ties, where is it? The number of lateral ties is 20. Okay? So, you have 20 pieces. So, it means that if you are to estimate your ties here, tapos you have 20 pieces. Okay, so dito pala lumabas, ang kinonsider lang natin is that you will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Okay? So, copy ko lang yung statement dito. Okay. So, if I will have 20 lateral ties, 20 pieces lateral ties, and each lateral ties will have 8 vertical bars that will intersect it, you multiply 20 by 8. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, I will need 100, or I will have 160 intersections. Okay? If I have 160 intersections, yun yung lalagyan ko ng GI tie wire. Now, how will you estimate ngayon the GI tie wires? Okay? Kilogram of GI tie wire will be equal to 160, so I'll multiply 160 intersections, so I'll just write intersections. You multiply it by 0.30 meter. Ibig sabihin, 1 GI tie wire na to tie your intersections has a measurement of 0.3. And then, after that, you divide it by 52. What is 52? 52 is your length in meters, 52 meters per kilogram. Okay, so 52 meters of GI tie wire will be equal to 1 kilogram. So what does it mean? If you do that, you will automatically get a value in kilogram. Okay? So 160, so that is 160 multiplied by 0.3 divided by 52. Okay, you need 0.92 kilogram. So, syempre, mahirap pa yung ganon. So, you may adjust it na that for that particular column, you will be needing 1 kilogram of GI tie wire. Okay? Now, that is for, okay, so this is, if we look into our given, this is for 1 column with a height of if I'm not mistaken, the height of that is 3 meters. Okay? Of 3 meters. Okay? Okay, then I mentioned to you na when you estimate your lateral ties, I gave you a dimension of 150 as its spacing. Okay? So, in cases that there are lateral ties that will be spaced at 50 mm, for example, ito, lalagyan ng additional bar. So, what do? You just add the number of lateral ties. So, you started with 20. Say, it was mentioned that you are to put another bar here. So, idagdag mo na lang. So, if you have 20, so, ano idadagdag? Pagsisinsinan. So, you have to add another one here. So, 20, so that's 21, o 22, o 23. Okay? So, ganun lang. Now, that will happen din sa ating mga beams. Okay? Sa ating mga beams. Now, paano ngayon yung pag-estimate ninyo? So, meron kang beams, may lateral, actually, we are considering already the yung concrete works nyo. Okay? Now, I have prepared here a table. Okay? So, this is your table. Like this, for example, you may use a similar table, pwede ka mag-design ng iba. So, say we have F1. F1 has a width of 1.5, a length of 1.5, a thickness of 0.35, a number of, your footing is 5. How do you solve for the volume? So, ganito lang, di ba? Excel formula is equal to width times length times thickness times number equals. Okay? So, kunyari, ang cement natin, if we are to use class A, you will multiply, diba? If you will use class A, we may multiply this by 9. Diba? Bali, times 9. And then, for your sand, you will multiply it by what? 0.5. Multiplied by 0.5. And then, for your gravel, you will multiply it by, then for your gravel, you will multiply it by, diba, 1. Okay? So, meaning, for example, andito tayo sa ating footing. Your cement will be equal to your volume, click on volume, then multiply by 9. Enter. Pag sa sand is equal to the volume multiplied by 0.5. And then for your gravel, it is equal to the volume multiplied by 1. Okay? Now, the good thing with this is, dahil naka-formula siya, so kung tutuusin, ito, may formula to. I-take note natin na itong isang to, naka-formula. Mali ba? Ayan, may formula yan, ha. So, ibig sabihin, kung gagamitin mo yan, sa footing 1, sa footing 2, ganito lang mangyayari. Say, sa footing 1, 1.4. Ay, footing 2, example, 1.4. At the other side is 1.4. Thickness is 0.4. And number of footings na, say, F2 is 3. You have that, the volume. Ito, hihilahin mo lang. Hihilahin mo rin. Hihilahin mo rin. Okay? So, I'll repeat. Say 1 lang to. 1, 0.25. Tapos, how many footings do I have? Say 6. Automatic na lumalabas yung sagot. Diba? Say, pagdating rito, 16mm bars. Parang masarap lang gawin doon. Pero sa 16mm bars, if you are to compute your 16mm bars, you have, diba, 1.5 by 1.5. Actually, we end up with, I'll go back to our footing, So, yung footing natin was pre-computed that for your footing, we need 9 bars. Yan, 9 bars. The length of one footing bar will be equal. And then you are to order 23 pieces. Pwede mo na diretso kasi magko-compute ka naman. So, you have here 23. Say, nakakuha ka ng 10. Sa 10 bars, wala tayong 10 bars para dyan. Sa GI towers, ilan ngayon ang GI towers natin dyan? Actually, we have 9, yung 6, dito sa 16 bars natin, 16mm bars, we have 9 per per side, diba? So, kung i-consider mo yung GI towers, ang number of intersections niya will be 9, will be equal to 9 times 9, diba? Times 9. So, that will be, that's 9 times 9 bale, sa GI towers nyo, or that is 81. If there are 81 intersections, ilang GI towers kailangan mo? Actually, 81. There will be 81 intersections for footing 1 lang. Diba? However, how many footings do we have? Diba? So, total intersections will be equal to 81. So, that will be equal to 81 multiplied by, multiplied by 5. Ito, kasi ito yon. So, meaning, how many intersections do we have? 405. So, apply na natin yung formula. Nalalabas, your GI towers will be equal to the number of intersections, which is 405, diba? Multiplied by so kung ito gamitin natin, is equal to number of intersections, kaya like paparenthesis ko, parenthesis, multiplied by, how many intersections? 0.30 meter, close parenthesis, divided by 52. Okay? So, there will be 2.236 kilograms. Now, tapos, meron dito number of blocks. Kaya lang, this is for CHB. Nilagay ko lang din dyan. Okay? Now, you will be doing that for the rest of the computation. You use this table, determine the quantity and the computation for volume for your footings, your columns, and your beams. Now, pagdating dito sa beams, Ang gagawin lang natin is to consider spacing of your stirrups. Okay? Okay, so lahat sa beams natin, please take note, ang gagawin nyo na lang is that spacing of all your spacing of stirrups shall be as mentioned sa plan. As mentioned in the plans. Okay? Now, ang spacing niya lumalabas nasa 200. Okay? So, paano ngayon natin gagawin dito? Okay, balik tayo sa plan natin, ha? Okay. So, you can see here na meron kang, so, we will be using the second floor framing and the, ano isa natin? Second floor framing and penthouse floor framing plan. Okay? So, lagay ko na rito. You will be using only your penthouse framing plan, and you will be using the second floor framing plan. Okay. Tapos of course, yung sa footing natin, you will be using your foundation plan. Okay? This is for your foundation plan will be used. Okay? Now, paano ngayon ang column natin? Kung foundation plan lang at saka ito. So, lilimit ngayon natin na yung column nyo, magbabawas tayo sa column. Okay? Since we are considering only second floor to penthouse level, so this one will be used. Okay? Ito, we will be using this one. Aha. Nagkagulo na ang color it yellow. So, you will be using this data here. Okay? Then, you are given foundation to ground floor. Diba? So, foundation to ground floor for your columns. And then, what else? Nakalagay second floor to penthouse and penthouse to what's that? And penthouse framing plan. So this one will be used. So ito lang ang i-determine nyo sa column. Yan mga yan. Okay? So meaning, if you consider this, ano ang column involved? So you have here your column, C1 and C2. May combination. Meron ring C3, may C4, may PC2, merong PC3. Okay, alam po, aangal na kayo dito. Okay? So, para hindi na lang tayo magkagulo, instead of considering lahat ng columns na yan, for penthouse, you may use itong column lang na to. Use only column 1. Do you understand? Okay? So, penthouse to ground floor level. Okay? Let's consider penthouse to RB RB. Use only C1. Okay? Then, ano yung second level natin? Next level natin. You have your second floor to penthouse. Let's use C2. Okay? Second floor to penthouse. Second floor to penthouse. Use C2. Okay? And then, for your foundation, you will be using this one. Ano na rito? Your choice. Pare-pareho lang pala eh. Okay? Pare-pareho ba? Ay, hindi. Use C3 naman. Okay? So, for foundation to ground floor level, you use C3. C3. Okay? Maliwanag. Then, punta ngayon tayo dun sa anong gagamitin mong CHB. Okay? Dito, you have second floor framing plan. For your second floor framing plan, you will be using 100 mm thick. And then, for your second penthouse framing plan pala. Nasa baba pala yun. For your penthouse framing plan, you will be using 100 millimeter thick. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nun? Yung total length nitong yellow wall na to will serve as the total length of your CHB wall. Okay? Dinidisregard yung pinto pa. Di ba binubutas lang yung pinto? Kaya considered na may wall yan. So, you will be considering it as a whole. Walang bawasan muna. Okay? And then, for your... wala tuloy yung ano. And then, for your second floor framing plan, you will be using 150 millimeter bars. Ay, 150 millimeter thick. Ito yung magiging total length ng wall nyo. Ayan. So, you have to determine the total length of the wall. Okay? Tapos, make sure na aalisin nyo, of course, yung mga poste. Okay? Ito na yung, kumbaga, mas intensive na pag-e-estimate ninyo. So, using your AutoCAD, it is shared naman sa iyo. Lalabas, you are to subtract yung length ng bawat isang column. Itong sobra rito, i-consider nyo na yan, kasama na lang sa plastering yan. So, ibabawas nyo pa rin yun sa wall. Okay? Bawas siya sa wall. Do you get it? Okay, so, last instruction pa. Pag kinonsider mo ito, your second floor framing, okay, you have there your mga beams. Ayan, kagaya niyan. TB 2B1 2B1. You have to determine its length. So, all you have to do is to measure the length. Okay? Okay? So, pag bumalik ka dito sa Excel, ilalagay mo na length niya 2.0, diba? Lalagay natin sa length is 2.0. Ayan. Ang length niya is 2.025. Okay? So, therefore, ang volume niya is equal to this. Control times. Okay. Now, it is possible na hindi lahat ng 2B1 pare-pareho ang length. So, what does it mean? Pag ganon, pwedeng ito, iusog mo, tapos mag 2B1 ka uli. Kasi magkakaiba yung length nila. Pwedeng may length A, may length B. Iba yung length. So, mag-iiba yung volume. Hindi natin mapagsasama. And then, buhay pa rin naman to, ilalagay nyo na lang yung formula wherein to determine yung cement nya, this will be equal to the volume multiplied by 9. The sand will be equal to the volume. The sand will be equal to the volume multiplied by 0.5. Okay? And then the gravel is equal to the volume multiplied by 1. And then ito, para mag-automatic uli, hihilahin mo na lang ganyan yan. Hila-hila lang. Okay? The volume din, hilahin mo na lang. Okay? So, kung hahanap pa tayo ng isang TB1, hanap tayo isang TB1 dito ah. Asan ba si TB1? 2B1 pala. Kasama ang pala iisa si 2B. Okay? So, consider natin si 2B2. Hanapin nyo na lang kung meron pang ganun. Si 2B2 is also 250 by 450. Iba lang ang bakal niya. Okay? 2B2. So, balikan natin si 2B2. Saan si 2B2? Ito. Aha. 2B5 siya. Yan yung kasama sa excitement ng gagawin ninyo. Naghahanap tayo. Wala akong makitang 2B2. 2B2. Wala akong makita. Kasi palitan natin. Instead of 2B2, i-estimate ko 2B4. Okay? 2B4. Kanina pala, nakopya ko lang na rin. Ito yung sinasabi ko, puro siya sa ano. Okay, siguro naman yung 2B4, meron na tayong makukuha. Okay, so say, ang length ngayon ng 2B4, if I will measure it, its length will be this one. Okay? 2.76. Pwede ko na ring i-add tong part na to. Say, dimension of that is equal to, that will give you the same answer, 0.889. And then the other one is, kaya lang minus column pala yun. Ano? So I have to subtract pa yung column. Dimension of the column is 0.55. So what will be the total length of my TB4? 2B4. Ay. Teka lang ah. Computing. So you have 2.764 plus, tabi pa yung pagkaka-measure ko ah, plus 0.889 minus 0.555 plus 2.581 equals 5.555. 5.679. Okay? 679. Then, of course, I need to go back. Ano ba measurement ni 2B4 ko? 200 by 400. So, ilagay ko rito. 204. Mali. It will be 0.2, 0.2, and 0.4. Okay. Ang kainaman nun, nag-automatic na siya. And then, if you look into the computation ng gravel and sand, meron na rin siya. Okay? Then, para masyado ko siguro kayong pahirapan, kung naisip ko lang, instead of using, may mga spacing na iba eh. The spacing, baguhin ko na yung spacing, we will just use that the spacing will all be 200 mm on center. And then what does it mean? Your number of stirrups nyo will simply be equal to the length divided by 0.2 meters. Number of stirrups. Okay. So, remember lang, the number of stirrups is parang the number of lateral ties. So, sa beams, you will also need to determine your bars. Kung merong 12 mm bars, insert a column for 12 mm bars. Solve for your GI towers. And then, you go to your CHB. So, as mentioned nga, kailangan yung CHB mo is the area of your walls na ito. Ayan. Minus the columns. Okay? Same with this, yung mga yellow lines. Okay? So, for now, yun ang gagawin ninyo. You will submit the finished table later today or early. I-allow ko na kahit early tomorrow morning. Diba? Kahit siguro mga 12 o'clock noon, i-allow ko na mag-submit kayo nitong table nito. Complete with the data. And by the way, last part is your total here. Okay? So, actually, you may insert a subtotal value. Pwede ka mag-insert ng subtotal somewhere here. Kung gusto ninyo, this will be your subtotal for all the materials, or you can simply add na talaga natin ang todo yan. Okay? Palitan ko lang to. Nakakagulo yung word na value. So, I hope you can follow kung paano ginagawa yung table. Okay? And then, before I forgot, kung titignan mo, you have here your CHB. So, you also need to estimate the cement and the sand needed. Now, pag sinabing 10 mm bars, okay, so, yun yung reinforcement niya. So, you are to consider na yung 10 mm bars niya for a certain area has a spacing of 0.6 meters. Tapos 0.6 for every layer by 0.6 by 0.6. Okay? So, imagine niyo kung paano ilalagay yung 0.6 by 0.6 na spacing na yon. For example, meron kang area dito. Okay? So, say you have here a certain wall. Consider mo na lang kung ito, diita na lang natin. Kung we are to consider a 100, teka lang, shift to 1,000, 1 meter by 1,000, 1 meter by 1 meter wall. Tapos maglalagay tayo ng bars na 10 mm with a spacing of 0.6. Okay? Lagyan natin say 0.6. So, copy natin. Offset natin. Offset natin ng 600. Ay, parang tumawid na kagad, ano. Pag nag-consider rin tayo ng bars sa gitna niya. Tapos mag-offset din tayo. Offset tayo. Yung 600 pala, so sobra na. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nakarating na siya sa kabila. Pag kinapi natin yan, kakapi ko yung isang 1 meter by 1 meter wall. Okay? Saan na nakarating yung reinforcement natin? So, ibig sabihin yan, sa tipo niyan, lumalabas, meron ako isang bakal na pwede ilagay dito sa corner. Pero dapat i-move ko eh. Move ko siya kasi hindi naman masasakto doon. Okay? Column na nga pala yun. Huwag na yun. Hindi na natin lalagyan dito. Pero, pagdating rito, pag nag-consider ka pala niyan, ganyan ang tipo ng bars mo. Ayan. We are to copy. Copy ko to. Okay, pwede pala tayong mag-estimate for every 4. Okay, for siya. Okay, lagyan natin ng actual unit. Pag kinonsider mo yan, ilang bakal? Aha. Mali ako. Offset. Bagal ko. Set. Kamali ako. Set. 600. Okay. So, pag kinonsider mo pala, ilang bakal lang na ilagay natin for every 4 square meter. Diba? Or for every 1 meter square. So, wala pa siyang ano, no? May chances na sa iba, ito, 1, dito sa portion na to, meron kang dito sa part na to, ilang bakal lang na ilagay mo? 1 meter each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dito sa isa, 1, 2, 3. Dito sa isa, 1, 2. Dito isa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Diba? So, i-average na lang natin. Ilang bakal ang mailalagay mo for every square meter? You have 4, 4, 3, and 2. Diba? So, that will be 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 divide by 4. Approximately 3.25 10 mm diameter bars. Okay? Sa 0.6 by 0.6 na spacing, you use, okay, you use 3.25 meter of bar per okay, per square meter. Per square meter. What does it mean? Ilalagay ko dito yung lecture. If area is equal to 50 square meters, length of bar of 10 mm bar will be equal to 50 Tapos sabi ko sa kanyo, multiply it by 3.25 meters. Okay? So, that will be equal to, so that's 3.25 meters per square meter. So, 50 multiplied by 3.25, that will be equal to 162.50 meters. And then, number of bars needed, number of bars to order, okay, ilang bars. So, as mentioned, palaging 6 meter this ang length na isang bar na in-order. So, yung 162, i-divide mo ng 6. So, approximately, you need 27. 27. Kung medyo may pasobra, it is 27.08 pieces. O, dahil may possibility na magdudugtong tayo, dagdagan na natin. So, gawin na natin siyang 28. Tapos, kung tingin nyo, sa diskarte ninyo, parang kulang pa rin yung 28. Kahit hanggang 29 pieces o to order. Okay? So, that will be your consideration. And then, as you can see, kung meron kang 3.25 meter bars, ang number of intersection mo para sa CHB mo, i-compute na rin natin. Ilang intersections ngayon ang magiging present dyan? 1, dito, ang intersections dito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, lagay na natin na para sigurado, there will be 9 intersections for every square meter. 9 intersections for our 4 square meter wall, di ba? So, kung meron kang 9, i-divide mo sa 4 square meters, 9 divided by 4, there will be 2.25 intersections per square meter. Okay, so lagyan na nating value. You use adjust 2.25 intersections per square meter of ball area. Okay, so yung sinasabi kong ganyan, lumalabas kung 50 square meters ka, 50 square meters, i-multiply mo yung 50, diba? Number of intersections will be equal to, example nga natin, 50, multiply it by 2.25, that will give us a total intersection of 112 or 113, 112.5 intersections. Okay? Now, kilogram of your GI tie wires will therefore be equal to 113, diba? That is 113 multiplied by 0.3, okay, divided by 52. And you'll get you will get there 0.65 kilogram. Siyempre, mahirap umorder niyan. Pwede na 1 kilogram. Okay? Okay, that's all. So, I hope you can work on your table and finish it in our due date. So, I'll just remind you, due date will be tomorrow, kahit lunchtime. Okay? I'll give I'll change my deadline for today Okay? Thank you.